What's up, Vivants? Happy Friday. It's $15 Friday. So there I was, walking around Whole Foods looking for my next $15 Friday wine, and then I saw it like a beacon from the heavens, a box of Kermit Lynch Domaine de Fontsainte Rosé. I was like, it's a sign. We have to do rosé. Anytime I see anything coming in to a store being delivered, I get very excited. And that's exactly what happened today. So shout out to Victor at Whole Foods Napa. Thank you so much for finally saying hello and subscribing to the channel. As always, such a huge help. Guys, if you are looking for fun wines, you're at Whole Foods, you're at a retail store, make sure you talk to people. Make sure you're asking questions. Those guys taste a lot of wines and they are invaluable resources. And I even use them myself to find these different wines. And I can't tell you how helpful they are sometimes. So without any further ado, this is $15 Friday Rosé edition ×3, because if you're gonna jump into rosé, you gotta go feet first. So let's get started with the one that I just talked about, the Domaine de Fontsainte Rosé from Corbières. Domaine de Fontsainte, hot off the presses, 2017. This is a Kermit Lynch import. You guys are very familiar with how I feel about Kermit Lynch and all of the trust agent things that he does. This is actually a property that I got to visit many years ago in the Languedoc in Corbières, and I really kind of just fell in love with the Languedoc. It's a really beautiful, sun-kissed place that's got lots of really rustic cuisine, and then they of course make some very, very beautiful rosés. And I fell in love with this wine a few years ago, and when I saw it coming into the Whole Foods Napa in the box, I got very excited, and it felt like spring and summer all in one. So anyway, so I fell in love with this wine. This is their Gris de Gris. I love French rosés. I think they come in many different shapes, sizes, colors, weights, alcohols, but by and large, you can categorize a Southwest France rosé as being summery, light, very fruit forward, very easy to drink, and very food friendly and pool friendly wines. So that is what this wine is here. So I am gonna do 3 of these. Like I said, they're all very different and all different colors. So I also want to talk about the color of rosé as it relates to sweetness. I get a lot of people come in asking for rosé, not wanting a darker rosé because they think it's going to be sweet. I just want to talk about how color is really not an indication of anything other than what the varietal might have been or the amount of time that the skins were in contact with the juice. It's not necessarily indicative of whether or not there's going to be residual sugar in the wine. So I just wanted to kind of get that out of the way because I think there's a few different misnomers about what the color of a rosé might indicate, and it is not sweetness. So this is very light, very pale, Grenache Gris, very light-skinned gray colored grapes, which is why you're getting a very light colored rosé. And then of course on the nose, we're expecting this to be very strawberry, very pretty, very aromatic, lots of tropical fruits, a little bit of papaya. So I guess I better shake my nose and make sure they're all in there, huh? Yep, they're all there. It even has like a really cool banana nose, which I know sometimes isn't the most appealing to some people, but I actually really like it in this case because it reminds me of summer. It reminds me of drinking something fresh, something fruity, something really fun and summery. Lots of papaya, a little bit of banana peel, a little bit of that like kind of marzipan, that strawberry peach going on. Very, very aromatically pretty. It's like taking a bite out of a peach and then licking a bowl of strawberries. This is so delicious. It even has that like kind of peach fuzz texture. It's got a little bit of that like prickly pear. There's a lot of pear on this wine. Banana doesn't come across so much on the palate as it does the nose. But very, very lovely, very delicate, very soft, very easy drinking, completely dry. There is absolutely no residual sugar on this. The body of this is very light. It's very texturally soft. As far as serving temperature, I think it's really a personal preference, whether you like your wines super cold, whether you like them more room temperature. I definitely like these with a little bit of a chill. I think it really helps to bring it together, and of course, it makes it feel more like summer. It's more cooling. And then of course, if you are somebody that likes to keep that rosé cold all day long, I definitely recommend checking out that rosé ice cubes video, I'll link it above, where you actually pour some of this rosé into an ice cube tray, throw it in the freezer, and then you have rosé ice cubes to plop into your rosé and keep it cold all summer long. I know, brilliant, right? Okay, 3 rosés. We've got to get through all 3 of these. So I'm gonna keep it moving and move to our next guy. I'm gonna keep it a secret. When I saw this wine on the shelves, I knew I had made the right decision. I am so freaking excited to finally get to try this wine. It sold out last year. I couldn't find it anywhere, but I had heard that it was happening. And if you guys watched the $15 Friday Matthias and Tondu red wine, that was the liter bottle, I think you're gonna be really excited about this. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Ta-da! Yes, this does in fact say 40 ounce rosé. This is a 1 liter rosé with a screw top, and it is from one of the best sommeliers in the United States, Patrick Cappiello. Patrick was inspired when he was in France traveling, and he saw grape juice bottled in 40s, and he was like, oh my gosh, this is so brilliant. I love 40s when I was younger. Obviously, if any of you have ever been younger and ever had a 40, a malt beverage or a beer, this might speak to you, and it definitely spoke to me. Bring me back to my days playing Edward 40 Hands. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? No. Like Edward 40 Hands in college. Mom and Dad, I definitely did not do that. It was just a thing I heard about. 40 ounce rosé. Patrick makes 3 of these. They all come in, oh shocker, 40 ounces. He makes a muscadet, a rosé, and a red wine. The red wine from Gamay, muscadet obviously from Melon de Bourgogne of the same region, of the Muscadet region in the Loire Valley, and then this little rosé from Gamay. So I'm so excited. My Pennsylvania people, you can find this in Pennsylvania. How freaking exciting is that? I will tell you guys, this did sell out last year very, very quickly, and I am expecting it to again. Obviously with great marketing, great juice, I'm gonna get into that now, and the screw top component is just a home freaking run. This is a French rosé. Obviously you can see it's a little bit darker than the other one. That is because it's coming from the Gamay grape. Gamay is the same grape that you will find in Beaujolais, Cru Beaujolais, and you can also find a little bit up in Oregon as well. So let's taste the 40 ounce rosé. If you guys don't know who Patrick Cappiello is, first got famous because he opened a restaurant called Pearl Dash and then followed that up with Rebelle. He's also seen on YouTube in a few different videos. Give him a little Google, check him out. He's really awesome. And then he also opened the Walnut Street Cafe in Philadelphia, which if you followed me on Instagram, I did a whole Instagram story on and I was obsessed with. So Patrick's just a really super cool guy, trying to do cool things, and I have mad respect for him. 40 ounce rosé, are you ready? Mmm. Much more berry on the nose. You had more of those like tropical peachy strawberry things going on in the Domaine de Fontsainte. This is more like berry, kind of Bing cherry, strawberry, and a little less of that like tropical banana thing going on. Aromatically not as intense as the other one. Do the rosé dance, that's delicious. Definitely more acid than the last guy. This is a fuller bodied rosé. Not a full-bodied rosé, but a fuller-bodied rosé. It's still very light, but much more red fruited, much more strawberry, red fruit, cherry, less of the prickly pear, less of the tropical, and definitely more acid. So this is a wine that's gonna be a little bit better suited to food pairing. Still freaking delicious, just sit outside and just drink. But if you like a little bit of lift, you like a little bit of that like that acid on the, just to give it a little bit of dimension, this is gonna be the better wine for you. Plus you get 25% more juice. It's also a little less fruity. So if you feel like the Domaine de Fontsainte is gonna have a little too much fruit for you, or you'll get a little bit more of that like perceived sweetness because the fruits that are coming over, because the fruits that are in that wine are naturally sweet fruits. You might want to go towards this, which is a little bit more restrained, a little bit less fruit, and a little bit more acid structure, a little bit more mineral going on in this rosé. But I absolutely love this. I think this is just so, so cool. And this is 12% alcohol. This guy here, 12.5%. Both are completely dry. I just think if you want something that's a little bit more food friendly, a little bit more serious, the 40 ounce is actually the more serious of the two rosés. I could drink that all darn day. Okay, last but not least. I don't know why I dumped that. I have 3 glasses. Stupid. This next wine is a recommendation from Victor at Whole Foods. Thanks, Victor. The Fifi. Now, as you can see from the color, it's a little more red than the others. That is because it is made from Sangiovese, and I suspect sat on the skins for just a bit longer. This is from Sean Thackrey. You guys might know Sean Thackrey from the Pleiades wines, pretty famous California producer. And this is the Fifi Rosé, and this is all from Sangiovese. They say to serve cool, but not really cold after all the night is still young. I'm not really sure what the correlation is, but that's what they say. Anyway, Fifi. It's kind of floral, but it smells like dried raspberries and dried strawberries. And it smells definitely more ripe than the other two. There's also like a, what the fuck is that? It's kind of like a gamey. Like if you blinded me on this wine, and I couldn't see the color of it, I might think like a still red Zinfandel. But it's pretty, it's like, it's an aromatically very complex wine. It's very interesting. That's pretty cool. That definitely has more texture, more weight, more body. It is still fermented completely dry, so don't let the color fool you. It is a completely dry rosé. It just has a bit more color, viscosity. I'm guessing the alcohol's higher on this, 14.1, so 2% more alcohol. Not a lot, but it definitely, you feel it in the texture of the wine. You get more of that silkiness, you get more of that weight, you get more of that just kind of mouth coating texture versus the 40 ounce and the Domaine de Fontsainte. It's fruity, it's more, it's gonna be better for things like charcuterie. Actually, this is great for red wine drinkers who want to drink something that's not going to set you over the edge during the day, and you want to drink it cool and poolside. This is a really fun alternative. It almost drinks like a really, really light-bodied Pinot or a really, really light-bodied red. It almost has that like dolcetto kind of feel to it. It's really yummy. It's really, truly not my type of rosé. I don't think that I would naturally gravitate towards this because it doesn't have enough acid for me personally, but if you want something light-bodied, easy drinking, and really delicious and kind of weighty, this is a great, great pick. And this was, I think this is the cheapest. This is $12.99, this is $14.99, and this is $15.99. So all in at $15 price point. Thank you, $15 Friday. All found at Whole Foods. I know wine.com definitely has Domaine de Fontsainte. They always do. I don't know if they're gonna carry 40 ounces. I'm sorry, guys. Look for that at Whole Foods. Go to the 40 ounce wine website and they have a full list of all of the retailers where you can find this. This will be a little bit more difficult to find. And then the Sean Thackrey, usually you can find that on wine.com, but obviously available at Whole Foods as well. Can you believe summer's just around the corner? I'm so excited. Now you have 3 rosés to start with. I also, if you have been watching my Instagram stories, I put a little survey out there. I think you guys might hate me, but I put it out there anyway. And I asked you if you thought it was a good idea for me to try the California Roots Rosé that Food & Wine magazine said that you need to have in your cellar. I feel not great about it, but survey says I should do it. And since I posed the question and you guys voted 61% yes, which is just shocking to me, I think I have to do it. So I actually went to Target today looking for the rosé. Doesn't appear that it's in stock yet, but when it arrives, I will review the California Roots Rosé. Listen, I'm hopeful that it's good. $5 rosé, all day long, I'm into it. But based on the California Roots situation from before, I'm not super optimistic. You can definitely look forward to more rosé reviews as the weather warms and rosé becomes more and more accessible and available. And not that I don't drink it all year round, because I definitely do. Until then, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye, guys.